Mayor Henderson, we're now live.
Thank you. Welcome everybody to this special meeting of Council. And firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners. The Hepburn Shire Council acknowledges the Dja Dja Wurrung as the traditional owners of the lands and waters we live and work on. On these lands, Dja have performed age-old ceremonies of celebration, initiation and renewal. We recognise their resilience through dispossession, and it is a testament to their continuing culture and tradition, which is strong and thriving. We also acknowledge the neighbouring traditional owners, the Wurundjeri to our southeast and the Wadawurrung to our southwest, and pay our respects to all Aboriginal peoples, their culture and law. We acknowledge their living culture and the unique role they play in the life of this region. I'll now declare the meeting open, and we have the councillors present. We have myself, the Mayor, Councillor Don Henderson. We have Councillor Tony Clark, Councillor Tim Dryley, Councillor Shirley Cornish, Councillor Brian Hood, Councillor Leslie Hewitt and Councillor Pat Hockey. The officers present, we have Mr Bruce Lucas, Mr Bradley Thomas. We also have Mr Sean Ledeek and Ms Rebecca Smith, who is our governance officer. I'll just read out the statement of commitment. We, the Council of the Hepburn Shire, declare that we'll undertake on every occasion to carry out our duties in the best interests of the community, and that our conduct shall maintain the standard of the Code of Good Governance, so that we may faithfully represent and uphold the trust placed in this council by the people of the Hepburn Shire. Now, we don't have any apologies from councillors, no apologies from officers. Now, the very important, since we'll be dealing with a matter here, is there any conflicts of interest? Councillors, are there any conflicts of interest from councillors? No?
No, man.
Any conflicts from any officer?
No, me.
No, thank you. We now move on to confidential items. Item 5, and that is 5.1. We're looking at the closure of meeting to the public. Pursuant to section 66 brackets 1 of the Local Government Act 2020, which is the Act, council or delegated committee, we must keep a meeting open to the public unless the council or delegated committee considers it necessary to close the meeting to the public, because a circumstance specified in subsection brackets 2 applies. The circumstances detailed in section 66 brackets 2 of the Act are: A, the meeting is to consider confidential information; B, for security reasons; or C, if it is necessary to do so to enable the meeting to proceed in an orderly manner. Councillors, I have a recommendation before us. That is, in accordance with section 66 brackets 1 and 66 brackets 2 brackets A, that the Local Government Act 2020, the meeting is to be closed to members of the public for the consideration of the following confidential item. And that item is 1.1, contract for the urgent works at the Hepburn Bathhouse. Because it is council business information, being information that would prejudice the council position in a commercial negotiation if prematurely released, the council applies because the item relates to commercial negotiations regarding responsibility for the works to the building. So we're looking now to the closure of the meeting to the public. Do I have a motion? Do I see any hands there?
Yep, I'm happy to.
Councillor Clark, thank you. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Hewitt. Thank you,
Yeah, I'm happy to
councillors.
second it.
I'll put that. Those in favour? That's those, all councillors. Those against? There's no against, so I'll declare that carried unanimously. I'll now declare the meeting closed. Thank you, Mr. White.
Thank you, Mayor Henderson. I'll just stop the